What's up, guys? Welcome back to Card Salad. It is day 10 of Monarch spoiler season. I think we're diving into some more light warrior stuff, and I think there's a good chunk of equipment in here.
I don't think there's any Light Warrior stuff. Oh, wow.
uh, um, I am Justin the Salmon, and with me is Mitch and Bill. I'm not sure how you. I just assumed you would introduce yourselves in the order that I was thinking. How did you not know
I
to do
was not sure.
that? Oh, that's right.
I'm
On
Mitch. He's Bill. Ah.
I
uh,
don't know who I am.
I was trying to think. I was trying to think back to Game Scoop. He says their name and then they say hello, and I was like, where
Hello.
what? How do they
I
usually do
waved.
that? You did. You successfully did a greeting. So we're gonna review these cards. This is like
You
8 or
rolled.
so today.
You got a 20. You succeeded.
Crit.
Nice.
Crit. Crit greeting.
I rolled a die.
That was the greatest greeting anyone's ever seen. You left an impression with your greeting. So we're gonna go through these cards and we're gonna discuss them a little bit and then give them a power rating based on how strong we think the cards are. And then we'll average the score for the card salad score. But before we get started today, I just wanted to ask you guys currently, how are you feeling about Monarch so far? What is the hype level from 1 to 10 for you guys?
Are you talking? Are
You
you asking
you
us?
I'm not
Oh,
waiting for them to comment on the video.
I thought you were talking to the viewers. Uh, I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I wish I could be opening it right now. It sucks that I've had some of the boxes that I was supposed to be getting get canceled and won't be getting first edition. But I at least have 6 boxes on the way and a case of unlimited and potentially another case of unlimited. So I got plenty to open, plenty to enjoy. I'm just very excited. Bill.
You're not talking. That face is going in the thumbnail.
I'm really excited. Really excited for Shadow Runeblade, which I don't think a lot of people are feeling the same. But I think it's going to be a blast. And even if so, I'm just excited to start playing a little more. I haven't ventured much into building, so start building now and really getting into the swing of it.
Mm.
I am getting very excited about the deck building just because, like, as we've been analyzing these cards, you know, I don't usually take the time to dig into a set like of any card game. I usually let people figure out the meta or just grind out games and then kind of adapt the best deck lists that end up out there. But in this scenario, we're so deep into like the analyzation of these cards um, that I'm ready to like sit down and put my own ideas to the test and like really try to flush these classes out. And that's really exciting to me. I never have done that really, and I have enough cards on the way that I'll be able to dig into that. And yeah, I'm excited to do some deck videos and try stuff out and play the game more. And also just to open it. There's a lot of really dope cards that I'm really hoping to pull, and I want to, get some cold foils in my collection for myself and open some sick majestics and stuff like that. And I'm super excited for this set. And Illusionist just really, the first 3 classes I was like, I'll
What?
try
I don't know
these.
what you're talking about. I don't know what illusionist is. We haven't seen
And
anything about that.
we tagged it on the end of the last video.
Oh, we did. Oh,
Yeah, I
I haven't
threw it
watched
on
the end
the
of it
end.
yet.
So that really, like, the first 3 classes I was like, I'll try them and I'm sure they're fun, but they don't immediately, like, I don't connect with them immediately. But Illusionist, I was like, I'm all about this. I love it. I love the aesthetic. I love the theme, even if it's not good, because it right now it's kind of hard to see where it's going. It's very expensive, but it looks like a lot of fun, and so cannot wait to get my hands on these cards.
it has a lot of instance in it as I've seen so far, so I would feel right at home with it as playing Wizard. I know
I
what
like to do
instants
stuff
do.
whenever I want, not whenever I'm allowed.
Exactly.
All right, so getting into the cards for today, we have Raiden Duskbane, 0 attack, majestic light warrior weapon, 2-handed sword. Ooh, impressive, 0 attack. Once
Very
per turn,
impressive.
once per turn action, you can attack for free. If you've charged this turn, Raiden gains +3 damage.
Now I'm wondering, does it stack? Now I'm guess it goes away. It goes back down to 0 at the end of your turn. I'm assuming, but if you charge twice, is it
No,
6?
it would say if you charge this turn, Raiden gets +3. It's just a check. If you
Okay,
have charged, then it gains 3.
single time.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would need to say like every time you charge, or
Each time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, but
So first things first, 0 for 0 suck, right?
No, that's like a 10. Like
this is
you
a
love that.
1-star card. Nothing to this. Move on.
I think this is sincerely worse than the Axis.
I don't. You can attack for 0 with this. You can swing for 0, and your opponent's like, okay, I choose not to block. And then you react and charge and give it +3, and you could also use attack reactions, and suddenly it has attack and like an on hit effect that draws a card or something of that manner. So it works. It plays into a mind game where you, if you want to, you could swing for 0 and kind of be like, get them to maybe block and be like, he's gonna react and add damage to this. But then you just let it swing for 0 and they waste a block, and then you go in with something else.
Same
So it's
time, if their plan is to react defensively and not block, it's not going to help you much.
yep. Um, True. Yeah. Well, yeah. Then it becomes a like, do they have it? Do they not? Kind of scenario. I don't, but overall, I think it's extreme. I think
It's
it's important.
extreme.
It's important to not overlook that it costs 0 to attack, because we've seen plenty of ways to give your weapon an, even though it says once per turn. There, we've seen 2 or 3 more cards that allow your weapons to attack again. So without, like with Dorinthia, she already does the same thing, a once per turn sword, and she really needs to hit twice, and her ability lets it swing again, but you have to give it go again, and like, she's got lots of setups to like get that sword to hit you twice. But with this, I lost my train of thought. It's easy. You can do like more buffs because you're swinging for. You don't have to pay that. Dorinthia has to pay 1 for each sword swing. This has to pay 0. So that's like an extra card you didn't have to pitch that can go into buffing this and swinging harder than potentially the Dawnblade would be, or getting like on hit effects through. I think about that, like Glisten, add 4 damage counters. So you could add 4 to this, and then maybe you charge, and now it's a 7, like swing 7 for 0. And then if you have it attack again, you're swinging 14 damage for 0, besides the cost you paid for, charging and putting the damage counters on it. But the weapon itself is swinging 14 damage for no extra cost. So I think there's a lot of stuff to do with this.
You guys finish your thoughts on this. I think I think you're never blocking it yourself unless you use a frontline scout and you can see what they got coming. Your only reaction to it. So I don't think it's pulling those cards and then getting a free defense because you don't buff it at all. But it's pretty good. I think it's a 7, and I'm gonna let you guys finish this card.
All right.
What do you think?
I'm definitely on the same train of thought that you are with it. It's a mind game.
There's more. Okay, so like it's a majestic. It's his like it's his main weapon, and you know
It's the
this.
thing that he makes rocks gravitate with.
Yeah, you know this developer knows what they're doing. This is a transformer. It's more than meets
Yeah,
the eye.
it's a weapon that is an attack reaction. Like it's I feel like that's kind of I don't want I don't think that's what they were really thinking, but it's almost like they were thinking, what if we made a weapon that was an attack reaction and not just a straight up attack action?
But it is an attack action.
Yeah, but like if they wanted to make an attack reaction into an attack action, because like you were saying, you can then charge after you've already established your action
Mm-hmm.
and then make it into a
Yeah.
+3.
You basically swing. You're swinging like a turned off lightsaber, and then like
Hmm.
when you go to they're like, what is that? And then you
Yeah,
go to hit and you turn it on.
it's like you sliced the villain in the anime, and then he's like, that didn't hurt, and they go, just wait, and then they're covered in slices.
um, yeah, I think this is deceptively strong. Especially the swing for 0, it makes it so powerful. You can commit all your resources to buffing and giving it more attacks, and then you just get to swing again.
Yeah,
And plus his hero power, right? You're gonna banish a card and give this go again, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't have really much of a problem trying to give it go again. I think that's not going to be a huge problem for Light Warrior, is having to give things go again.
I
I'm
mean, if you're
convinced
using
this
this,
is
then you've got something in your soul.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
Unless you're, you got nothing in your hand and you're just like, I gotta hope that they're gonna just like put down a defense card because I've already used it twice this game and made them, pay for it. And it's like I got nothing in my hand, but it's like I'm gonna swing my sword, and they go to defend it, and you're like, and I end my turn, and they're just like, wait.
right.
I give it an 8. It's not overpowered. I think it's there. The other weapons that you have, um, the pool of weapons. I think there's other choices that you can pick from.
The axes are certainly tantalizing and have a lot of support, but
Yeah,
I think this is going to surprise people.
I gotta feel we're bound to see some other support for this, like something that has to do with swords.
I mean, we've already got all of the base warrior stuff that's gonna help buff
True.
this.
I don't know too much about the base warrior stuff, so
There's a lot of buffing swords. Halo 2. Halo of Illumination.
But you pick Halo 2.
I don't know. People remember that
3.
one. I know 3 is probably the most iconic one, but 2 was like, I don't know, the original best game ever. Common light equipment head, 0 armor. Oh, light equipment. Yeah, it's not generic, it's light. Instant 1 resource. Destroy Halo of Illumination. Put a card from your hand into your hero's soul. If it's a light card, draw a card. And it has Spell Void 2. Bill, go.
Kind of unimpressed.
I'm
Doesn't
feeling the
have any
same.
defense. I don't think this is going to get used.
It doesn't charge.
It doesn't charge. It lets
That's
you.
not tutor.
It lets you shuffle. Lose 1, gain 1. Not a huge gain there, and it's unless you're stacking your deck with opt somehow. It's YOLO. Spell Void, I'm not impressed with over Arcane Barrier.
No,
Although
Spell
Spell Void
Void's
can block. Oh no, it's only Arcane, isn't it? Yeah. So Spell Void sucks.
But it's free.
it's free, but it sucks because it's only one time.
It's one-time use. So literally, unless if you only have to block 2 damage, it's better. But if you have to block any more, it's worse. Which if you're blocking arcane damage, you're blocking more than 2.
Perch grapplers in Archer is almost never activated, but it's run, and it just blocks 2 damage once per game. And it's played in like every Archer deck. I just throwing that out there.
But it's there for the ability to be activated, yeah?
Yes and no. It's almost never activated because it costs 2 to activate, and then you also need to play like it gives your arrows go again, and most of your cards are red. So you'd have like you pitch 2 cards and then you have 2 cards left. So what at best case scenario you fire like 2 arrows. It's kind of like terrible in the current way that archers are built. But it usually
but
blocks
that's
2
blocking
damage.
2 more versatile. I don't know.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that a lot of armor in the game does just block 1 or 2, and then is just, like that's frequently something that will happen. Is you're like, I need to block this to stop an effect, or just to mitigate the damage while I build up my big turn, or something like that. We may be undervaluing Spell Void. A free block 2 could be important, but honestly, I'm also just super not impressed with this at all. I'm almost angry that the instant costs 1 because the effect is so underwhelming. You also have to pay a resource for it. So you have to, unless you have a tunic resource ready, you have to pitch a card. You get a card in your soul and you cycle one. So you get a free card in your soul. I don't think that's worth breaking your helmet.
No.
So I'm pretty much on like a 3 for this card.
I think I'm on a 3 too.
I'm gonna put it at a 5 just because I'm kind of hoping that there's gonna be a little bit more for it.
I wish I could say it's a free card in your soul, but you have to pay 1.
You do have to pay 1,
3.7.
but I mean, I like the tutor effect.
It's not a tutor.
It's not a tutor.
Don't call that a tutor, please. It's a dig.
Dig. What's tutor?
Find
Anything
exactly the card you want.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Glisten.
That's a big sword. Look, there's even little small swords in there to show you how big that sword is.
Oh, whoa! Look at that. Glisten. Yes, red. The red glisten. 2 cost. Light instant. Rare. Distribute up to 4 +1 counters among any number of weapons you control. At the beginning of your end phase, remove all +1 counters from weapons you control. If a permanent is no longer a weapon during your end phase, +1 counters on it are not removed. And just real quick, I will confirm that the illusionist has tokens that can become weapons during your turn and then go back to being defense tokens. So that's what that means. They will stay on those permanently unless destroyed by your opponent or something.
They will not.
When they go dormant. What do you mean?
Because this is the very first thing that happens when you go to your end phase.
No, the tokens read they are weapons during your action phase, and then as soon as it's not your action phase, they are no longer weapons.
So they're not weapons in your end phase?
They are not weapons in your end phase, no. That's exactly what this text is here for, is to buff those tokens. There's no coincidence that they printed this text in the same set they printed transforming tokens. So this in specifically illusionist currently is a permanent +4 to a token, but the tokens can be destroyed against your will if opponent gets damage through to you, because the tokens are destroyed automatically. You don't get to choose, but you do get to choose which ones.
If you're capable of heavily defending and making it so that no damage gets through,
it's very
this
good.
card is busted.
Busted for people and that can keep permanent. Yeah.
Still good for Light Warrior.
This is insane for like dual axe Light Warrior. Like you use that one card that's gonna buff them +1 and give them an extra swing and give them on like a draw card effect, and then you buff them. Like you could put 3 on 1 just to make sure 1 hits, or you could do 2 and 2 and just like swing back and forth for like a really awkward amount of damage for your opponent to block. Ton of potential for this card. And
I
the
mean,
yellow one buffs 3 counters, and the blue one buffs 2 counters.
all plenty good enough to use, I think.
It is also an instant, so during your attack you can do this. Or
I
your
think
defense for some reason.
I think this is pretty good on Light Warrior, but the potential, if you play well and you play like controlly as people are thinking Lucius is going to play, and you pop these, just stack them on those weapons.
Oh man, imagine you had a good you've got a
You
really
want to
good
talk
setup.
about OTK, sir? Here's your OTK. Let's just fathom somehow you got all 9 of them right. So that's 12, 21, 27, 31 on one weapon. If you put them all in one.
or split among 2 weapons.
Yeah, or split among
you
2,
swing
yeah.
swing. Yeah, the potential is totally nuts. If you had a really good setup and you're like super defensive and you're like, I got a ton of tokens, I can safely put Glisten on one that I'm never gonna let them pop. Yeah, you start racking up damage, and those things are gonna stick around and just whop your opponent for a ton every turn. That's obviously like godlike scenario, like that's like the ideal case, and we don't know how it's gonna look going forward, but the potential is certainly there to do that.
I give this card a 10.
A 10.
And not necessarily just because of the card itself's power. But this card gives hope for the mechanics that Flesh and Blood, that Legend Story Studios is going to put in their game. Because that
more
mechanic and how they have it,
things,
and how you can work around it. So this class can utilize it in this way. Still good here, though.
yeah, still
But
good
it's
in
got
Light
this thing like,
Warrior.
oh,
Who
look how these words work out. I don't lose these counters. Sneaky stuff.
yeah, potential permanent 4 damage on the board. I'm not at a 10 with you, but I'm at a 9. It's super good.
I need to know more about Warrior. Because I mean, we all need to know more about Illusionist. I think it will do really well with Illusionist. I agree with what Bill's saying.
So think about
Not agreeing about a 10 though, but
that 2 pay 2 for 4 worst case scenario, but Warrior we've seen has many ways to swing multiple times with the weapon, and if you do that, you paid 2 for 8.
yeah. Give that a 9. Yeah.
I ran and Lightning Strike in my room play deck. That's why. It's expensive.
Oh. Valiant Dynamo. So this is the card the guy was looking to buy for $1,000 cold foil, and people laughed at him.
Why were they laughing at him?
Because they were like, "Good luck finding someone who will sell it to you at that price." They basically, people were all thinking that this is going to be more than $1,000 cold foil at launch. Just to give you a preview of how good these are. Valiant Dynamo,
God, I'm not
warrior,
looking forward to that.
legendary warrior leg equipment, 1 armor. At the beginning of your end phase, if you have attacked 2 or more times with weapons this turn, not hit, attacked, swing with both axes, or use your sword twice, you may remove a -1 counter from Valiant Dynamo, and it has Battle Worn. If you use it to defend, you get a -1 counter on it. So this is a recharging 1 armor, and if you're
One defense.
yeah, if you build your deck to attack every turn with your axes, like if that's your whole thing, or you do it very frequently, this is gonna net you 6+ armor a game.
Busted.
Absolutely busted. Totally busted. This
it can go in Dorinthia too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dorinthia would replace refraction bolters. I think it's that you break them and then you can give your weapon go again on the attack reaction. But this may be worth it if they need just more survivability.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bonkers. I think I give this armor a 10, like no doubt. I give this armor.
Yeah. I think that's a 10 worthy.
This is the, I don't know what to call it. This is peak warrior equipment.
That's the GOAT.
It really
The
is.
GOAT warrior equipment 10. Yeah, it's a 10. The other one might be a 9 previously, but the reason, like I said, I gave it a 10 was it gives me hope for the game. I like the clever mechanics and magic, and I think Flesh and Blood's going to get there at this point.
Oh, and let me
Valiant Dynamo.
We'll
God,
just
that's
go ahead and put the
heartbreaking.
price on the. There we go. Oh, you can't. You guys can't see it. It says 10,000. Gallantry Gold. Love the name on this one.
Not broken.
Common warrior equipment. Not broken. This common card. Warrior arms. 1 armor. Action. 1 resource. Destroy Gallantry Gold. Your weapon attacks gain +1 this turn. Go again. And it has Battle Worn. So you can block once with it and then still use the action.
Decent, usable.
Decent usable. I give it a 7. That's decent usable. No, yeah, 7. Yeah. It's like if you were doing go wide with weapons, this could add up to like an extra 4 damage, 4 to 6 damage in a turn if you somehow swung 3 times with your axes.
Yeah, you do that and the stubby hammers, and
that would also be, you'd be wearing 2 sets of gauntlets.
Oh, I thought this was a chess piece for a second. Never mind.
7.
Oh, jeez.
Did you spill again?
No, it's empty.
Okay.
But I did tip it over. I did tip the cup over.
I don't remember what I gave stubby hammers.
I don't recall either.
I feel like this is on par with it though.
It's the Stubby Hammers does action cards, attack action cards, 3 or less, and this is
Yeah.
just for your +1 to your weapon. So it
Just
is very
weapons.
comparable. It's like, which strategy are you going for?
I think I gave stubby hammers a 6, but I think I'd give this a 7
Let
because I
me
like it more.
let me just look up the do you know what the current warrior gloves are called? It's not refraction bolters, that's the leg. Crucible warrior arms.
I don't remember.
That's not what that is. Crucible of War card gallery. I think it's from Crew. I was playing against the guy and they were busted.
Oh, they just give +1 each turn?
Is that what they are?
I think that's what they do.
Oh, there's no equipment it's not in Crew. Yeah, I think that might be what it is. But okay. So I'm gonna give it the 7, but considering and like decent, this will be decent in draft and budget. But man, those other gauntlets, yeah, if they are what I think they are, like they can block twice because they have battle worn and like 2 defense. Plus they have an ability that you're using.
Brave Forge Bracers.
Yeah, that's it.
Once per turn action, you pay 1 resource. Your next weapon attack this turn gains +1. Activate this ability only if a weapon you control has hit this turn. Go again. Or no, you don't gain. It just has go again. Battle worn, and it has 2.
Yeah, so that thing is blocking twice throughout the game, up to 3 damage total, and the guy used it like 5 times against me, so he gained like 5 extra damage throughout the game off of them, and they don't break. It's always available. So that was busted. Just to have a comparison and power level of what you're competing with in the warrior arm slot.
Yeah, they're trading warrior like Charizard.
You can't say that until there's at least 100 sets, And Warrior's been printed in 67 of them.
Yeah.
Warrior's been printed in 100% of the sets so far.
Oh
so.
my god, can you imagine?
Oh wait, no.
Sorry.
They weren't in Arc.
Yeah.
They got 1.
But so
Runeblade's been printed in just as many sets, right?
Yeah. Runeblade was in.
I guess technically everything has.
Was in, yeah. Except for Illusionist and Mechanologist.
Spill blood.
Spill Blood, 1 cost. Warrior action, Majestic, blocks for 3. Axes you control gain +2 damage and dominate until end of turn. Go again. So you thought 2 for 4 or 8 was busted. How about 1 for... Yeah, both axes get it. How about 1 for 4 or 8 if you swing plus dominate on your axes?
Pretty good.
How about that?
Wow.
Wow indeed.
They really want Warrior to become legend status ASAP.
Well, it's
How
per
big
character.
does the tournament have to be?
They list it on the legend status
'Cause-
page. It's like
okay,
I think it could be regionals. They list the types of events that it is.
Okay, because I just counted their deck list posted on their website, and Dorinthia has 10 wins. But they must not be all high enough.
Yeah, I mean, what the last 2 years haven't really had events to compete in. I imagine one of them, a hero, might have been close to being rotated by now if we had, the regular world. Oh God, I think I got this card. I think it's a 10. I think this card's nuts. I think it looks innocent enough, but then you're like, okay, well, all axes you control gain +2 and dominate until the end of turn. Not even just your next. It costs 1, guys. It costs 1. That's the craziest part. This is immediately +4 damage. Okay, do keep in mind you are gonna need to give those axes go again. You're gonna need cards in your soul, so it's not straight up just like busted. You got to have a little bit of setup, but you're immediately giving 4 damage to your weapons, and they have dominate. So if you combine this with anything that has on hit effects, like the card that lets you draw cards if your weapons hit, or whatever, the one that like you draw the top and put it in your soul and heal, and like you can go nuts with it. Like dominating +2, so your first axe swings 4, the second one's 5 because they buff each other, and they have dominate. Like that's so hard to deal with. And then you add any other buffs on top of that, and these things are just swinging for crazy amounts of damage.
I'm gonna say 9.
Say 9 as well.
Also, would anybody care to understand with me why I have put just some standard old Blade in a hard sleeve?
That's not even a cold foil?
No, it's just a Blade. I don't have any
Well, that's
cold
the back
foils.
of
I'm
it.
poor.
What's the other side? Oh. I thought it was a token. I don't know why you would do that.
You just really like Dawnblade.
It's a nice looking card.
Duskpath Pilgrimage, 1 cost, rare warrior action, blocks for 3. Your next weapon attack this turn. I just had to check and make sure I hit record. Your next weapon 30 minutes in. Your next weapon attack this turn gains +3, and if this hits, you may attack an additional time with this weapon this turn. Go again. You must have an action point to attack an additional time. So you still need to give the weapon go again, but it may attack again, and it's +3. I think we've seen this effect
pretty
before.
good.
It is very good. It only costs 1. 1 for 3, and it might, give you some synergy with your weapon.
Wait, so if you swing with a weapon and you're Boltyn and you banish a card from your soul, so you give it go again.
Yep.
You can play this. This already has go again. Can you swing with that weapon again?
No. You have to give your next weapon attack this turn gains. You're the weapons we've seen for him are once per turn action. You need this effect to hit so that they can swing again.
So okay, so this has to be active.
Yeah, so you can give a weapon go again and still have an action point, but the weapon can't swing anymore. It's a once per turn action.
This is not retroactive in any means.
No.
Okay.
No.
But that one card, his Boltyn specialization that says your weapons may attack an additional time this turn, that is retroactive.
Okay.
So sometimes you can swing first and then give it later. But this, you need to buff your attack and hit with this to then be able to swing again.
Okay.
With that particular weapon.
So you could just do it in a different order. You could swing, use this, banish a card.
No, this is an action. You have to use
No,
this
this is
first.
an action.
Okay. Does Oh wait, would Boltyn's ability even work for a weapon attack?
Yes.
It does? Okay.
It's all attacks.
It's all attacks.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty broken.
I thought it was just attack action cards for a second. Okay.
Nope.
Hmm.
So I'm at like an 8 on this. It's great. I think Dorinthia actually likes this. I think from what I don't know much about Warrior, but this is another way that her Dawnblade has a chance to attack again. I mean, they're already doing the deck's already totally busted, so maybe they don't need the extra help, but maybe they do like just extra ways to give the weapon an additional attack. Oh wait, no, her ability does it. It has to hit, which wait, so if you have Dorinthia's ability says if your weapon hits, you may attack with it a second time. So if you added this to that, does it get 2 more swings? I think so, because it says you may attack an additional time.
Seems like it would.
Yeah, I think you'd need a lot of go again, but yeah, I think it would stack that way. So I'm not sure if Dorinthia uses this, but Boltyn definitely does. Yeah, I'm at like an 8. It's good.
I'm gonna go 7.
7. I'm kind of leaning towards the 7, but I'm gonna leave an 8.
I'm thinking 7 as well. I feel like there's just going to be other cards that you choose
Jeez,
over this.
guys. All right, it's a 7. God.
Easily swayed.
I like to go with the crowd. The winning team. Outmuscle. 3 cost, 6 attack, rare generic attack action, blocks for 2. While Outmuscle isn't defended by a card with equal or greater attack, it has go again.
So you wouldn't want to use. Oh wait, no, never mind.
So you
3
can
for
buff
6
this.
seems pretty bad.
You can buff it. But 3 for 6 with go again. So I think you put this in brute.
I just noticed the flavor text on it.
Let's see if them muscles big as that mouth, jackdaw. I think you put this in brute and you put this in guardian.
Oh, definitely.
You're just already pitching big amounts and
putting that in my wizard deck.
If it could
first
have,
thing.
if it can have go again, that's really good. I mean, it is expensive, but to have go again on a 6 attack card seems really strong to me. But obviously, very specific classes or decks would want to use this. You can buff it, and like if they match you with a 6 attack, you can buff it with a reaction, like pummel. Yeah, you can pummel this, and then it would have go again.
Go again.
Again. I think it's a 7.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I like the thought that you're trying to get your opponent's big attack out of their hand.
Yeah,
because they're afraid that you're going to go off on them.
And if I think you just fit this in a deck that I mean, those classes do run pummel anyway, and like any other way you could buff it, like you could definitely, you could be like, they're like, all right, I will trade my big attack for that, and then you go, haha, and then you get through anyway, and you have go again.
I feel like this would be pretty good in sealed format.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's like if you didn't manage to get a 6 attack card, well, they're about to wreck you.
Yeah, didn't pull a single one.
Yeah.
1 cost brandish. 3 attack, common generic attack action, blocks for 2. If brandish hits your next weapon attack this turn, gains +1, go again. Oh, it has go again naturally. So this just straight up seems like a ninja card, and it has ninjas on it. I think that's the intention.
Yeah.
If it hits your okay, so yeah, it's a cheap attack. It has go again, and if your opponent didn't want to block it because they're trying to save up, this just adds to the damage that you're gonna do as like a ninja going wide. It's just you're gonna poke harder with your kodachis. Um, it 1 for 3 is fine, especially with go again. I think that's actually great for decks that are doing the go wide strategy. This fits right in. It's synergistic. I'm like an 8 on this.
Putting it at a 7. Just
8.
because.
Yeah, Mitch, we know what's up. Fuck your 7.
Whoa. So much anger.
Now there's 2 7s in the score just because you have 1 7. Are you kidding me?
Favoritism.
Oh, that's the end of the cards.
Look at it.
All right. If you know how to flaunt it, you barely need to use it.
All right, well, that gets a 10. I actually really like this art. I like the style. It's very clear, and there's this ninja gang. What is this guy? This guy's just like swinging his sword around. He's just like, I think it's a good art. I love
Yeah,
it.
I give it a 10. That's a
I want to know what he's
art.
pointing at.
You. No, his finger's kind of curved. He's like, your penis soft.
Smell my finger.
Yeah, if you know how to flaunt it, you barely need to use it.
I'll give it a 10 as well. I think they did a good job.
Yeah, good job. Oh, it's
Can't read
Futhu.
that.
It's Futhu.
Futhu. They're gonna watch this and be like, "You guys have no clue how to say my name."
I don't really like the style here. I'm like a 6. I like what's happening, but I don't like the art style.
Very I'm gonna give it a 5 because I don't like the art style, but I like the flavor text.
I'm going to give it a 7. Because it's okay. It's good flavor text. And it's got some action going on.
Duskpath Pilgrimage, another one. I'm just not a fan of these ones. That I mean, it's like Promise of Plenty, right? It's just like a picture of a building, essentially.
Yeah,
I get you see
and it's
you see
always
the
on the warrior cards too.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, it's the city. You're like, okay.
You like that? Yeah, looks
Yeah,
good.
so like Duskpath Pilgrimage, could we have seen a better art of like the actual pilgrimage or the Dusk Path? Like it's just mostly there is a moon in it, so you
There
have
is
to
a
buff the
moon in it.
score.
Yeah,
I'm honestly so bored of this art and the other ones like it. I'm at like a 2.
I have to give it a 5 because it has a moon.
Moon
Or
5.
Automatic 5 points.
Oh God, what is that score?
3.7.
Sorry, Reza Afshar.
You did good work.
Yeah, it is a nice image, but I just like it's so boring. When you've got this, there's like piles of bodies and bones and weapons and carts. So look at this
Oh, there's a
smug
woman.
look. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. She just messed everyone up, and she's like, who's next? I expected you to live longer. Danu Ashenvern. It's Futhu. I'm
Carlos
I'm
and Fu.
I'm a 10.
Give him a 10. Or her. Give
All
them a
right,
10.
Fu. You get a 10.
Yeah, that's great. I love the skyline back there. Whatever's happening, could be a fire or just like dusk or something.
Itachi's there.
Itachi. All the crows.
Mm-hmm.
Gallantry gold. It's really cool armor. It's not laying on the
I'm
floor.
going home.
You what?
I'm going home after
You're
that
going
joke.
home.
Gallantry gold. I love paladin armor. 10.
I'd wear that. I give it a
Why'd
10.
it get
Yeah.
fat?
I scrolled or something. I don't know.
You trying to say something?
You're fat.
My rating is fat.
I actually meant to introduce myself as Double Chin. I forgot to do that.
I can create a chin.
That was pretty good. Gallantry gold 10. It's beautiful armor. It's nice. Marina Lunina. Valiant Dynamo. I actually love the legs, and it's a very actionate. You can see this is like a big battle going on here. I'm a 10 on this one.
That's a 10er for me too.
Yeah, it's 10. I wish that other foot was a little bit less blurry, but that's all right.
Here, I'll get it for you.
Oh, wow, look at that. What detail.
I missed a bunch.
That's a 10er.
Man, we just keep adding zeros to the price tag of this card.
Yeah, we should probably stop. Man, that card sucks. It's ugly. Nobody wants it.
And that card is gorgeous. I said it earlier. Look at those little weapons all floating around
Yeah.
that big weapon.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Little zero.
Oh yeah, you got like you can see a bunch of axes. There's a sword. They're just like what is it? Did this come out of the sky and it's made out of these weapons, or did it someone attack a pile of weapons with this giant sword?
It's just
I do feel like those little weapons are like.
I think they're coming out of the giant light sword. I think it's just like
you think they're coming out of it?
Archer's attack from one of the Fate universes. I can't remember which one. That's cool.
Wait, is there flavor
like
text
thousands
on that?
of golden weapons?
No, there's not room. Who did it? Marco Gonzalez. Pretty good.
Good job, Marco.
We got Sam Yang here with Halo of Illumination. She looks pretty dope. I'm at like a 9.
I'm putting that at a 10. I think it's a really pretty card.
8. Can he do it? Oof. He did it. And then he got nervous when I said oof.
I did. And Raiden Duskbane.
Raiden.
That
guy
actually like this.
How did he turn into a sword? He was an electric guy in Mortal Kombat.
I thought he was just the hat. I thought Raiden was the hat.
Oh, you might be right. Everybody hates us. I think I give it a 10. I like it. It's good.
I'm giving it a 9. I wish they had Boltyn in the background or something like that.
But any light
I just don't like the
warrior can
background.
use this.
True, but I just don't like the background though.
I was gonna comment on the background because it's not just laying on a floor or like hitting the like a brick. It's like at least they were like, I'm gonna put some nice paint strokes back here, and it looks
should be in someone's head.
You heard it here.
Oh, that's very skinny. It's gonna blow away.
Not a fan.
All
She
right.
zipped.
All right, yeah, that's it. That's all the armor. That's all we got for you today. Thank you for watching. If you like that video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. We hopefully only have a few days left of spoiler season because as much as I've enjoyed this, it's time for it to wrap up and just dump the rest of the cards for us.
Yeah.
Can only go on like this for so long. And pre-release weekend is we have 8 days.
A week away.
9 days until we're playing. 8 days until we pick up the packs.
9 days, yeah.
But we have to wait till Saturday to play the event.
Boo.
Ugh. All right. Yep. Thank you. And we're out. Goodbye.
Bye.